Danny Sheehan gives us information about David Grush's 40 whistleblowers, plus intact craft, and a whole lot more today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, this is an interview with New Paradigm Institute, and Danny is giving us some fascinating information.
Because we've had whistleblowers come forward, and obviously you've been privy to a lot of information, much of which you can't speak about. But the record seems to suggest, not more than suggest, they have the technology, they have biology, and that even some of the technology may be operational. Comment to the degree you can, Danny.
Well, yes, that is clear. You know, the Senate Intelligence Committee has now secured the testimony under oath of over 40 people who were directly involved in the reverse engineering program and in the crash retrieval program. And so they know that that's true. They've cleared David Grush to testify publicly in Congress, made available to the public, his testimony that we were in possession of more than one, extraterrestrial, non-human origin spacecraft, and the biological evidence establishing that the occupants of the craft were non-human. That testimony has now been provided in Congress, and very importantly, has been pre-cleared by the United States Defense Department Office of Pre-Publication Review in Security. So that information has now been made public. But of course, now they're trying to assert that, well, maybe they haven't really effectively been able to develop any of that technology. That's information that has not yet been publicly released, that they've been able to figure out some of the technology. And
he goes on to say that we have 2 intact craft. That they operate telepathically. We haven't been able to get them to work, but they are tinkering with it. Now, I think there's a lot more than 2 craft. Ross Coulthart's reporting, has said that at one point, Wright-Patterson Airfield was a veritable parking lot of UFOs. Direct quote from Ross. So yeah, we've got a lot more than 2, but maybe we only have 2 intact. Who knows? But either way, yeah, we definitely have at least 2. Obviously, we have our own UFOs. So, there's different layers to the secrecy and the control group. And, I think people at, the Bob Lazar level, where they're just tinkering with UFOs, they're not aware of the deeper stuff, where people are working with beings and flying around in their own UFOs and stuff like that. That's my take. I don't see any other real rational way to, for all the pieces to fit together. But let me know your theories in the comments below. I thought it was really interesting what Danny had to say about the whistleblowers, that the Senate Intelligence Committee has secured the testimony of 40 of them, right? You would assume those are David Grush's whistleblowers. So where is that testimony? Why haven't they presented that to the public? And if they have testified to the Senate, why not the House in a big public hearing, just like with David Grush? What is the holdup there? If they're cleared to talk to the Senate, why not the House? Is it because the Senate Intelligence Committee has the necessary clearances to hear that, and it's more of a SCIF setting, more of a private setting, because they're talking about classified material? I'm sure that's probably the answer. When I interviewed Danny a couple of months ago, he seemed to place a lot of faith in the Senate Intelligence Committee in Warner. So, that's optimistic. I hope he's right. But they have not shared any of that information with us. So I'm less optimistic, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, we've all heard of the strange oddity, the anomaly, whatever it is, the strange structure known as Yonaguni off the coast of Japan. Where you can dive down and you can see this fantastic structure, whatever it is. Well, debate has raged about whether it is man-made or alien-made or a natural feature for a long time. And somebody has taken up the challenge to construct a model of I'm going to say it wrong, Yonaguni, showing us what it looks like, what the whole thing looks like, because it's hard to tell in the videos from underwater. You can only see little pieces of it at a time. But here is the whole magnificent thing. You know, it looks like stairs there and there and there and there. I don't know why any city or whatever this would be would have so many stairs right next to each other. I don't think that makes sense. I think it's probably a natural phenomenon, but I don't know, guys. It is awfully weird. It is a weird structure, whatever it is, but I'm grateful to whoever made this model showing us the full thing, what it looks like. Let me know what you think this thing is. Meanwhile, I and many others have talked before about how UFOs seem to target our nukes. Well, apparently, it's an evolving phenomenon that has changed over the years. Per the reporting of the Daily Mail, I thought this was really interesting. Now, new research in the form of 3 studies helmed by a retired U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Larry Hancock and a data analyst affiliate with Harvard's UFO Hunting Galileo project, Ian Porritt, shows that not only has there been unusual activity around nuclear weapons and facilities, it's shifted over the years. At first, seemingly interested in the production of nuclear weapons, UFOs later sprouted up around silos and bomber bases. You would see this interest at silos when they were being installed before the activity would drop off. So yeah, really interesting that there may have been this shift in UFO activity around our nukes. I still would love to know what all of that is about. Are they concerned about us contaminating the planet? Are they worried about bleed through into other dimensions? You know, what is that all about? Some think they're feeding off of the energy. I tend to doubt that. I think they're, running on 0-point energy and whatever. They don't need to, leech off our atomic energy, but who knows, guys? Let me know your theories in the comments below, and let me know what you think about this idea that the activity may have been shifting over time. Meanwhile, we've all heard of Project Bluebeam, the supposed fake UFO invasion. Well, David Wilcock says it actually may not be that simple. Let's give a listen.
So again, the very strange source here, Storm Rider. Maybe it's true, maybe it's false, I don't know. I mean, the Alliance might not like me linking to these, but whatever. I mean, I look at different pieces of information, I try to connect dots, and this is a very strange one where he's, again, openly speculating that there is going to be, in the near future, a mass fake UFO event. Now, he might have just been doing informed speculation, because again, Dan Scavino did the passport to Macedonia. We had the whole thing with the Arby's, the order of potato cakes, where they have these drones over the Luxor pyramid and it looks like a UFO, and then the all-seeing eye opening and it says the return is coming. And they say the return of who? Well, this would be a UFO return. And I'm going to show you these pictures from the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show with Rihanna, where they pose on what look like UFOs. It's unbelievable. But first, let's read this. Here's where you can find the post if you want to go look for it. There's a nice numerical synchronicity, 22245. He says, white hats want to mimic the sky event that will lead to mass awakening and shock. So this would be a UFO. They talk about this in the posts, the sky event. Something might happen because, again, the Alliance has lots and lots of reverse-engineered UFOs.
Okay, so I'll let you watch the full thing at your leisure, but there you go. The white hats might stage a fake UFO event. We've all heard that the black hats might stage a fake UFO event to consolidate power, to freak people out, and to say, hey, well, look at us, we'll save you. Well, what if the white hats struck first and did their own UFO fake out, but for good intentions? I don't know. What do you think? Is the race on for whoever does Project Bluebeam first? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, this was sent to me by DT Skywatch, a viewer of the channel, and he has his own YouTube channel. He doesn't post a whole lot on it anymore, but he used to do these UFO Skywatches, and he would get really interesting encounters like this. Yeah, check this out in super slow motion. This UFO coming from behind the house. All right, wait for it. It's coming. There we go. There we go. That is fantastic. Love it. And this is what it looks like in real time. I'll show it again. Okay, here we go. Real speed. Super fast. And okay, and look, you can hear the birds and stuff. That's the real audio. Here we go. Okay, so that thing was making no sound at all, coming right up from behind the house. Was it launching from the ground? Was it coming from inside the earth? What is up with that? What is up with this thing? Then he slows it down, and we're able to see it, yeah, at a quarter speed, and it's still going pretty fast in quarter speed. But then he slows it down as into super slow-mo. And we get this, our longest look at it yet. And okay, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's going super fast, just shooting straight up from the ground. Now, maybe it was zooming along really close to the ground and it just angled up. Either way, I think this is a fantastic sighting. DT has several of these on his channel, and so I'll link to his channel and you can check them out at your leisure. I love it when viewers send me stuff. I don't always have time to post as many of them as I would like, but I might start posting more of those because you guys are sending me some fantastic stuff and I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your stories and your contacts with me in the channel. Meanwhile, check this out. Haime Missan posted one of my videos. That's right, he posted one of my videos about, of course, the Nazca mummies. And that started a conversation with Haime. Now we're private messaging each other to set up an interview with Haime Missan himself for either later this week or next week. I also got the pleasure of having Joyce Mantilla join the comments yesterday or a couple of days ago on a video again about the Nazca mummies. So I love it that Joyce Mantilla and Haime Missan have discovered Cosmic Road. Meanwhile, I can't wait for August in Lou's book. I think this is going to be amazing. As Lou said himself, the purpose of this book is going to be very, very apparent when it comes out. He said that way back in 2021. Well, we are on the cusp of finding out what the purpose of this book is. We only have another month to wait, guys. So what do you think is going to be in that book? What do you think the purpose is? I think it's at least getting us one step closer to UFO disclosure. Hopefully we'll find out some really interesting stuff, some juicy ins and outs of what was going on behind the scenes at OSAP and Aero, Congress and the Pentagon, involving all of that kind of stuff. We might even get some glimpses into the phenomenon itself. We'll see. Meanwhile, Michelangelo gives us his thoughts on an updated Schumer Rounds amendment. At the time of this writing, efforts to revive the original spirit of the UAPDA continue. Senator Schumer and his allies are pushing for a Volume 2 or Version 2 of the legislation to reinstate some of the strict provisions. They argue, correctly Mike says, that the watered-down version fails to deliver the transparency promised and needed by the American public. To further bolster Senator Schumer's push, Congressman Garcia introduced the legislation in May 2024 in the House to reestablish the missing provisions back into the 2025 NDAA. However, this attempt was blocked for consideration by the Rules Committee. At the time of this writing, the UAPDA version 2 has not been included in the initial version of the language for the 2025 NDAA. Supporters of the legislation now must pin their hopes on a floor vote to include the act, but this path remains uncertain. So yeah, and he links to this article by Ryan Graves. I've read it. It doesn't, there's no new information there as far as anything juicy dropping, but it's a great article. I encourage you to read it, and I'll link to it below. But yeah, it's looking dicey right now that anything really substantial regarding UFOs will be included in the next NDAA. And that is a real bummer, guys. I thought we were moving forward. I thought 2024 was going to be a kick-ass year. And of course, that should include the creation of the next NDAA to be signed into law, likely in early 2025. So, yeah, what's going on, guys? What is the holdup? Is this the UFO cover-up stalling things. That's certainly what it feels like. I'm hoping that Congress people are not getting discouraged. I'm hoping that they are going to continue to push forward. We've heard from Danny Sheehan that Warner and the Senate Intelligence Committee have heard from these 40 whistleblowers that are directly involved, many of them apparently, in reverse engineering and retrieving UFOs. So if they are not making that information known to the public, you would think that they wanted that information for themselves so that they could do something with that. Hopefully that's not plugging leaks. Hopefully that's actually getting something done regarding transparency and oversight of these programs. But time will tell. Let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, biologist Jose Lopez is showing this video from Australia in 2023, sharing what might be a being caught on camera. So yeah, we're going to zoom in here in a moment and you'll be able to see it. Look at that. What is going on there? Is that an actual being? This is from one of the researchers of the Nazca mummies. I would hope that he's not just posting BS. So is this an authentic footage of an alien or something? What's going on, guys? Do you have any insight into this really interesting footage? I would love it if it were moving around and doing something so we could see whether it was CGI or not. But it's doing what it's doing, and it's not doing very much, but it definitely looks compelling. So let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, speaking of Haime Missan, Jose Bazan is reporting that Representative Tim Brette will be meeting with Haime Missan in a couple of weeks. Now, Haime Missan has been involved with UFOs forever, so this isn't necessarily related to the Nazca mummies. But we can hope, guys. We can hope that Nazca mummies are making their way to the U.S. Congress. Who knows, guys? Stranger things could happen. I'm not super optimistic about that, but I think that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, the most haunted house in New Orleans is up for sale. Oh my God. The French Quarter of New Orleans is home to the LaLaurie Mansion, an historical house of horrors once owned by actor Nicolas Cage. Of course it was, right? The residence is now back on the market, and despite the gruesome events that played out within its walls, prospective buyers can't seem to stay away. And it's the mansion's terrible tale begins with its former owner, Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite and slave owner. And yeah, the story goes in a dark direction, and I'm not going to read it all at the moment, but I will link to it, and you can read about the horrors that happened there if you dare. But yeah, apparently it's a very haunted place, and it's up for sale. So if you want it, you can buy it for $10 million. Get out your wallet, guys, and your ghost hunting equipment, because it's on the market. Meanwhile, ever wondered what a clam looked like when it was alive and moving around? Well, apparently this is what a clam looks like. Interesting. I'm suddenly less hungry for clams. I don't know. I was never a big clam guy in the first place, but that is interesting. Okay. Last but not least, sunset over Stonehenge. Isn't this gorgeous, guys? This is just a lovely picture. Let me know what you think about this lovely picture and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.